sets the plate for us now. And who is Devon Archer? He's the former best friend of Hunter Biden. He's been a business partner in countless deals, apparently, with China, Ukraine, Romania, and et cetera down the list. He claims that then VP Biden was on the phone with Hunter Biden during some of these foreign business calls. That would include the alleged speakerphone conversations that happened, according to some, often. Back in 2018, as Chad just referred to, convicted on 2 felonies for defrauding a Native American tribe. He is waiting to serve that sentence behind bars. Hasn't happened yet. Nancy Mace, Republican of South Carolina, a member of that House Oversight Committee. Thank you for your time today, and good morning to you. You're back in South Carolina. You're not going to be in Washington for that testimony, the interview. What do you expect we will learn today about President Biden from Devon Archer?
Well, we should get information to corroborate documents we've seen, whether it's suspicious activity reports, bank records, et cetera, but also whether or not the big question is, the million-dollar question is, whether or not Joe Biden was in the room by phone or in person, and any of his involvement in any of these deals that we're seeing. And we've seen evidence of corruption and money laundering and bribery. Was Joe Biden in the room when these things were taking place? And that's what we want to figure out today. The other thing I want to say about this letter, this explosive letter that came out on Saturday, this is the Biden's, DOJ henchman saying basically to Devon Archer, sure, you can do this interview with the Oversight Committee on Monday, but we're going to intimidate the witness before you do that. And I was just shocked when that letter came out on Saturday. I hope that Devon Archer will get in the room and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that interview will be released to the American people as soon as possible.
There was a response from Archer's attorney, Matthew Schwartz. Let me just read it to you here. They don't think that they were being intimidated. He says, "We are aware of speculation that the DOJ weekend request to have Mr. Archer report to prison is an attempt by the Biden administration to intimidate him in advance of his meeting with the House Oversight Committee. To be clear, Mr. Archer does not agree with that speculation." So that's their side of that point. There was another thing in Chad's report that made me think about when you went to the Treasury Department not too long ago, and you were able to look at some bank records. Mm-hmm. And Chad says that maybe there are more bank records or additional things. And you had said at that time, if you could see what I have seen, you also would think there's a big problem here. Are we going to have a little bit more of that today?
Well, I don't know. Well, I can't say what Devon Archer will say, but we're curious about that. And I will tell you, when we pulled up the first tranche of suspicious activity reports, of which there were more than 170, we then realized that there are more suspicious activity reports on more Biden family members and more information that we've got to dig into and investigate. What we have to do, and we're in the process of now, is accumulating bank records, not just here domestically, but there are bank records in foreign countries with foreign banks that we also have to get. That takes money and time, which we are doing and trying to collect that information, because, don't trust Congress, but trust the evidence that we bring forward for or against this thing. And I do agree, and I said this yesterday, all the information, the evidence that we collect for or against in this case or this investigation we're having should be released to the public because they don't trust us. So trust the evidence that we bring forward and make the decision for yourself on whether or not you think this is corrupt or not.
Republicans think this interview today is critical. If it is so important, Chad mentioned that Jim Jordan will be there. Why are you not there, or James Comer, who heads that committee?
Well, when there are transcribed interviews with these committees, oftentimes it's done with legal counsel from the committee staff or committee staff who are much more familiar with more details and records that some of us haven't seen or haven't had access to. And I think having those folks in the room that have all the details are going to be much better. I wish we could be there. I'm very glad to be in South Carolina. We've been up in D.C., up and down for almost 10 weeks now straight. But our legal counsel will be leading that effort today.
Do you think that this will lead to an impeachment inquiry?
I do believe that may be a tool in the toolbox if we're not allowed to get all the information. If DOJ, FBI, and IRS continue to stonewall the investigation, that is a tool at the Speaker's fingertips, much different than an impeachment vote. We have to be better than the left, better than Nancy Pelosi, who politicized impeachment. I do not want to see us do that. We have to be deliberative, we have to be serious, and we have to show an overwhelming abundance of evidence, or this thing doesn't move forward.
Right. Nancy Mace, thank you. We'll see what we get when
Thank you.
Parts of those transcripts are made public. Thank you for your time today in South Carolina.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.